In this tutorial we're going to take a look at creating properties. Now in RentHQ, a property is something that we manage. It's not necessarily a building as such, it's just something we manage. It could be a house, it could be a shop, it could be a factory, it could be an apartment, it could be lots of different things. So I'm going to go and choose properties over here, and I'm going to add another property. So the first thing we can do is we can enter a short code. I've already got property 1, so I'm going to add a property 2, put in the address. Now down here I get to select the owner that owns this property, and also a default bank account. The default bank account is used for entering transactions. If you select the default bank account, when you select the property, it'll automatically fill in the bank account for you, which just saves a bit of time. We can also choose an inspection template. There'll be other tutorials on inspections, but you can choose the type of property that this is, like it might be a house with a garage. Down here we can choose whether this property is going to be transaction tax exempt. So if you're managing a mixture of some properties that do require tax and some properties that don't, like maybe some commercial properties and some residential properties, you can turn tax on by default and then exempt individual properties like this. You also have an option down here that you can tick which says that this property is no longer managed by us, so it sort of closes the property. Over here you can specify the number of bedrooms and bathrooms. This is required if you want to do property inspections and property inspection checklists, so that it knows how many bedrooms and bathrooms to create on the checklist. Down here we have a vacancy status. This is automatically updated, so when you go and adding a new tenant, it'll automatically set the status to occupied, and when a tenant leaves, it'll automatically set it back to vacant again. And the available date and asking rent is just for your information. And down here we can enter in a description of the property. You'll notice these 3 tabs are disabled: the notes, attachments and tenants. You have to actually save the property first before you can add to those tabs. And on the custom fields tab you can add any additional information that is not currently available in any existing fields. Like for example, maybe you want to record an insurance policy number or something like that. You can choose add a new field to add additional fields here, and then you can save that information. So what I'll do is I'll save this property. If I go back in, now the Notes tab, Attachments and Tenants is available. So the Notes tab, I can add any additional information, any additional notes. On the Attachments tab I can attach different files, such as a picture file or a document or a PDF file. And the Tenants tab here is automatically populated. As we start adding tenants and linking them to this property, this list will get populated automatically. Another thing we can do is we can add a building which has multiple units inside it, such as an apartment building, which might have maybe 10 units inside it. Now we can create all those apartments individually, but it could take a while, so instead we can use this button down here, the Add Building button. This is similar to adding properties. We can put in a shortcode. Building 1. Again, put an address. Again, we can select the owner and the bank account, and down here we get to specify the number of units. So let's say we can say it's got 5 units that we're renting. Down here it automatically fills in the unit numbers for us, and if we added some more numbers we could put like 6. You can see it automatically updates this number here. It might be that we don't necessarily manage all of those units, like let's say we don't manage unit number 3, so we can remove that one, and let's say we do want to manage unit number 10. So we have different numbers there, and when I press save, you'll see over here it's gone and created all those units for me. So let's take a look at this one here. You can see it's automatically put the unit number in the front of the address, and it's created individual properties for each of those. We could have done this manually, create them all individually, but by using the Add Building button just saves us time. So that's how we create properties.